Hey everybody, and welcome to another actionfeatures.net/motumovie.com video spotlight. I hardly ever mention motumovie.com on one of these. What am I doing? Well, you probably already know what I'm doing because you saw the thumbnail and the description for this video, but I'm going to pretend like you don't know what I'm doing. Okay, motumovie.com. That is my blog devoted to the 1987 Masters of the Universe film. I used to update it really frequently with a bunch of information. I kind of slacked off in the last couple years, but I'm trying to pick it up again this year since it's the 30th anniversary of the film. And there's something really unique that a friend and I are doing to add to the site, and this today is the first video introducing one of those things. No, it's not a MOTU Skeletor that we're talking about, but I want to show you guys this because I want to talk about this before I show the other thing, okay? Bear with me. The MOTU Classics line. Now, that's the line that kind of started our whole review channel. I was heavy into this line. I kind of gave it up because of all the QC problems and the backwards shoulders and missed dates of shipping, and it was just it became more of a headache than it was fun. But I do love these figures. I have always loved these figures since the line started. I think they're perfect for redoing the He-Man vintage toys, redoing He-Man vintage art, filmation. This body style and this style of figure works so great for incorporating almost every aspect of Masters of the Universe lore into one line. It can work for everything, except for the 1987 Masters of the Universe film. And that's not just because they don't have the rights to do the characters. The only characters they can do in the Classics line are Blade, Sarad, and Gwildor, which were the three figures done in the vintage line. So basically they're doing vintage figure updates of those three, but not actually the movie version of the characters. Understand? I think that makes sense. But to me, it's not just that. It's that this body type, in my opinion, isn't really right for doing the 1987 movie. It's too big and too bulky. No actual human in the movie has muscles this large. It really, in my opinion, should be a more realistic, totally different body style than this if you're going to do an 87 Masters of the Universe movie line, right? Okay. So Blade and Sarad came out in this line. I didn't even pick them up because even though I love that movie, I looked at them and I was like, you know what? That's just not really what I want. However, Gwildor is what I wanted. Now, Gwildor, in my opinion, doesn't really match with the rest of the MOTU Classics figures. This is a very good representation of Billy Barty's Gwildor from the movie. The body proportions are right, what you saw in the movie, the head proportion, the sculpting, the detailing on the outfit is very crisp and highly intricate. I feel like they knocked it out of the park on this one and made it very, very close to the film itself, and not so much a classicized version of something where they've bulked him up and they've got the big muscles, and Blade and Sarad, basically, where I think those are classicized versions of the movie characters. Gwildor, however, is perfect to the movie, down to his staff being definitely from the movie. Okay, so we have Gwildor, right? If you've been on my channel before and you've seen other videos, you've seen maybe the Matthew Hackley Batman Kenner style customs. Or if you were a fan of a piece of the action.net, you saw his Playmate Star Trek customs. Matt and I met years ago online when I saw some of his customs, and we both have an affinity for a lot of the same things. 1980s action films and Playmate Star Trek figures and all these things that he had in common. So for PCAction.net, he did a lot of custom work for me for Star Trek characters that didn't make it into that line and fitting that style. For Batman, he did a lot of Kenner stuff for me that fit the Kenner style of Batman. So that way it's plugging in holes in those lines of things that didn't exist. He and I, we've talked about dream lines, and one of the things we had both talked about was the 1987 He-Man movie and how cool it would have been to have a line that is true to the film, as realistic to the film as it possibly can be. So this Gwildor comes out, and it kind of reawakens both of us going, man, I really want to see those figures. So Matt decided to start working on the first one and try to make it as close to the film as he could, and he's trying to do a few of them this year for the 30th anniversary. And the first one is now at my house, and I'm about to show it to you, even though you've probably already seen the thumbnail. Let me just put his staff in his hand. Oh, that's a clue. I said the staff in his hand. And that first figure is Frank Langella's Skeletor. And this is a dream come true for me. This is exactly what I want for a 1987 MOTU live-action film action figure line. And, you know, the video is not going to do it justice. The pictures online probably won't do it justice, but you'll at least get better views of everything if you hit the info section, if you're watching this on YouTube, to get better views of all the stuff that's involved with making this figure. And Matt knocked it out of the park on this. I mean, he went crazy on the detailing. He's got all these individual little tiles. I'm going to take the staff off to the side, which Matt informs me is made of brass. And you'll have a better view of it, the Havoc staff. It's got this nice black metallic brass sheen all to it. I'll put that over to the side for now. The detailing on the suit. Well, first of all, the body he uses is a Mattel wrestling body. So it's still a Mattel figure, which is cool. But the wrestling bodies are much better proportioned to an actual human than the MOTU Classics. So that was the base, is a He-Man wrestling, or a Mattel wrestling body. Although you really can't tell from all the stuff he's done to this figure. All the little tiles on these straps that hang from his neck are individual tiles that have been painted and sculpted and added to these straps. The same with the skirt piece. They're all individual small tiles. I'm going to try and bring him a little closer so you can see all those. Again, hit the info section and check out the pictures for better views of all those little pieces. Coming to go crazy on the photos on this. All those are individual. The sculpting on the chest and the belt, they're sculpting on the boots. Those fingertips on this figure, in the suit on the movie, his fingertips have small little skulls on each fingertip of the gloves. And this figure has all those little skulls. All the detailing on the gloves is there, the gauntlets is there. These shoulder pads are kind of a separate piece, so it doesn't interfere with this, the shoulder joints. So all the articulation of this Mattel figure is still here. He also has this, which I think it's crushed velour. Is that what that material is? I can't remember. But the same material that you'd see in the cape in the movie is what Matt has used here. He's got the small jewel hanging on the back. The detailing in the face. I'm going to try and get a close-up of this face because it's pretty impressive. That's about as close as I can get on a video. But you can even see inside his mouth, he's got the two small fangs, which you can see when Frank Langella talks, you can see the pointed canine fang teeth show up a lot. And you can see those in the sculpt on this figure. Kind of move these around a little bit. Maybe you can get a better view now that I got a little closer of all the detailing. Matt spent hours upon hours upon hours freeze framing the film and studying every aspect of this suit, looking at pictures online of the props. It was months and months of work to get this figure as close as he could to a Frank Langella Skeletor. And in my opinion, he rocked it. I couldn't be happier with this custom. I had to make this video just to show you guys and share how happy I am with this. Let's get Gwildor in there with him. And it's just the beginning of what will be an entire year of these customs until we can get a more complete 1987 Masters of the Universe movie line. And hopefully this will show, you know, some of the companies, Mattel, that these figures deserve their own thing. They don't need to be shoehorned into something else. People would love to see a full... I'm going to take the staff out of Skeletor's hand here. In my opinion, people would love to see a full 87 MOTU movie line. And it may not be Mattel that would be able to do something like this. I think this would be more up NECA's alley to be able to do something really accurate to a film. And for this, I think they need to be accurate to a film and not classicized. All the figures will be to scale to Gwildor as it goes along. There might be some surprises in there for you guys too. Maybe not just figures. Who knows? But if you like this and think it was cool, please stick with the channel here. Or check out MOTUmovie.com for the updates. Again, there'll be a gallery there for you to check him out fully. I want to say thanks again to Matthew Hackley for making a 30-year dream come true for me. I've never thought that I would have a true Frank Langella Skeletor, and now I've got one, and it's one of my favorite figures of all time, and definitely my favorite Skeletor figure of all time. Again, thank you. Check out the channel for updates as we go along in this line, MOTUmovie.com. I'm going to sign off on this one, and we'll see you guys next time.